It worked this time. Usually it's a blank slate and I'm going, I panic.
I love your new music and your new intro, and I'm watching all these things transforming on there.
That's what we do, Missy. We transform each other. We transform ourselves. So yeah, we are here. We now my beautiful friend Linda here. Don't tell anyone. She's not hearing anything I say, I'm sure. She's going to be married soon, and we're doing a little something. In other words, we need to do a fundraiser for her, because it's like, of course, like she decides, her and her other significant other decides, like kids, oh, we're going to run away, and it's just got to be on a certain day. Lalit, she went to Lalit to find out if that day is perfect. She went to me for the numbers. It's perfect. Now we just need a little cash, a little jingle in the pockets. So tell us all about that now that you're out of the bag.
About the wedding or about the specials?
Everything. Tell us everything. Leave nothing out.
Well, last time I explained, I'm turning 67. 67 on Friday the 5th. And I've never been married. And I went to my dad's 40th wedding anniversary with my stepmom, and I was really inspired. And he's 91. He said, Linda, please, will you and David get married while I'm still here? And David and I have been together for almost 22 years. So we said yes. And we were just going to go to the city hall and have my dad and my stepmom there to be witnesses. And then a location was offered to us, and everything started falling into place. So it's like, now we're going to have a real wedding. We're planning for that, and it's coming up right away on August 13th. So anyway, that is the story.
I love that. So romantic. So, and we're so old, and it's delightful. I just love the magic of older age. I'm just saying, because my life is so much easier now that I'm older. And I'm so glad you're going on that. Yeah. And you're doing a few specials. So the proceeds will go to this event.
Yes, to the wedding.
Wedding event.
50% off my chakra psychic reading. And that reading is really, it's a 60-minute reading. So it's only 125 versus 250. And I read your chakras. I do a gemstone card reading. I also do healing. So whether we're releasing trapped emotions from your body, I do a Reiki distance healing while we're in the session together. And it's really, really comprehensive. And then you get answers.
I loved my reading. I loved my reading.
While you're here, Lalit has gotten a reading from me. And so that's 50% off. And then I teach Reiki. I've been a Reiki master teacher since 9/11. So I have a special in my online course. And you get, if you go online to chakrapsychic.com, it's Intro to Energy Healing with Reiki Level 1. It's $175. It was normally $195, but if you click into the shopping cart, it's $175. However, if you pay me through Zelle, and you can just email me for the information, if you pay me through Zelle, it's only $150. And then you get my online course, which is very extensive. And I teach you how to heal yourself. Mm-hmm. And in that course, you also learn how to do hand positions on others. So if you want to work on healing others, you can do that too.
Awesome.
My main goal for you is to understand who you are, why you're here, to transform your own life so that you can shine your light brighter. you can connect to your own intuition, have clarity about who you are and why you're here. And that's why I do what I do.
I
So
love that. I
those are the
just love that.
specials.
Wonderful. Um, so that is that. And I do have it in my notes, I believe, all your links.
Okay.
But if I don't have it right now, you could just go to Linda's
I have part of
channel.
one because I have something else special for you guys, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Oh, wow. Wow. This is Christmas Day. I love that. So tell us your website.
Chakra, CHAKRA -psychic.com.
There you go.
-psychic.com.
Awesome.
And you can learn all about me there. And I've been doing transformation work, helping especially women and a few men to transform, to heal from depression and anxiety and become healers, have the confidence to become healers. And I have a unique Heal the Healer method that I use. So it's pretty wonderful, pretty magical. And transformation is my thing. I love it.
And you have a show coming up.
Oh, yes. With Allie.
Yes.
So thank you. You introduced me to Allie. And so now I'm scheduled on her show. She's introducing me on her show on Tuesday at 2:00.
Heart and Soul
Connected. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll get a chance to share my story there.
Awesome.
And thank you, Lali.
A testimonial. For those of you just listening and not watching, I'll read it to you. I can attest that Linda gives the greatest readings ever. As I told her at the time, I didn't even know the things she does were possible. And that's true. A lot of it has to be experienced. What she does is totally unique, really useful info and healing. Thank you, Lily, for that testimonial. A lot of it is that way. I have a special with the soul profile. You
did for me. That was incredible. Yes.
Planet of origin and superpowers, and whether you're a mono soul or walk-in soul, and then there's soul specialties. And I end up having that be like an hour or more. In fact, the last one was an hour and a half because a lot of hi, Fatima. It's nice to see you, sweetheart. Thanks for coming.
Hi, everybody.
A lot of I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, you do it for now an hour and a half because you need that much time to explain everything.
Well, yes, but usually my full soul awareness is more like that, an hour and a half. But I have found that the people who contact me for this work, for the soul work, Akashic work, are already so evolved.
Yeah.
I mean, they're walk-ins, they're high numbers. I mean, they're remembering themselves. They're not discovering themselves for the first time, right?
Oh, that's a good way to say it.
Yeah, but so I give more information for people who come through that I know are in the channel because they need the extra information to be able to serve others well with that information. It's something you can share.
Well, I tell you, I've been doing healing work since I was 30. I mean, really focused healing work. So that's 37 years now. But I did have those questions like, where am I from? Because you brought it up that you tell people where they're from. And I knew I wasn't from here.
I know.
I don't fit in here. So where in the heck am I from? And when she talked about this reading, I said, I got to do it. And I tell you, I would not have been ready for that 30 years ago when I was just starting out, or 37 years ago.
Yeah.
But when you gave it to me, it's like, oh, okay, this answers so many questions.
The penny dropped. Yes, I do this work, this service for people who just don't feel comfortable on Earth.
Yeah.
It's dense energy. It's funny little crazy drama ways with other people, and it's like you think, okay, give me the lesson so I can go home, right? That's what you usually do because it's uncomfortable. But if you understand how incredibly powerful you are and all the other, I mean, there's a planet of origin that brings traits. You bring traits to Earth. through that, but you've been on and visited other planets as well, and you know things that aren't here on this planet. And so when
People
you
say you're crazy,
that,
it's like, how do you know that? I just know it.
you're right. You know parallels, but you don't know the words for it. Yes, there's people from different. Yeah. All of that. But that's anyway. That I just want to say out front, even though it's mine is half price, so it's $116.
Oh my gosh, that's too cheap.
I know, and I go an hour and a half because my regular readings for an hour is 200. But nonetheless, it's worth it to me to give that extra for the people who move into it, because they really do need the information to serve others. So
register, sign up, get one of those readings. It is life-changing. And our first video, I think that we did, we talked about each other's readings.
I got so nervous. I edited that down because I was so nervous by the way you were talking about my work. And I was thinking, oh, this must be, you need to have it all about you. And I went in and edited it up a little bit because I was thinking, it's a imposter syndrome, even though I've been doing this for ages and decades. And I'm thinking, oh, I guess I do hold that. So McGrill, thank you for coming. Sue Toffee, God bless you. Sue,
everybody
is so generous. Lalit, Charlie. So we're here to talk about post debate. And you know what? I have boycotted all information, news stuff that even hints at Democrats wanting to change.
I agree.
Hey, I'm a new earth, new action, new Democrat. And so I am standing strong with my with my Biden.
Yeah, me too. So tell me though, explain to us what that is. New Earth, New Democrat.
So what it is that now Lalit, I love Lalit's explanation about this, but now she's at Astrology Vibrations with an S. Anyway, at gmail.com. She does astrology, and she taught me that nobody alive on the earth today has ever experienced the alignment we have in the sky. So this is a new sky for all of us. And the way it's, 250 years ago, the planets kind of played around the way they are now, something like that. If I say something wrong, Lily, will you kind of chime in or just come in? I'll invite you into the group. But the thing is it brings a new, I'm going to bring her in. I'm going to invite her, Lalit. I'm just going to copy the link in here. And if you could come on and explain, this is going to help. Paste. So there's the link. If you wanted to copy and paste, just click on that and come on in. I love you, so you can fix whatever I'm about to say. But I know that we were in like Capricorn. I'm not an astrologer, but Capricorn energy for a bunch of years. And now we're going into Aquarius. And I went to Lalit and because I was having doubts and I was having a hard time doing my political work and staying bright about it.
Yeah.
And I went to her and said, you got to tell, is this really going to, it feels so daunting. It just feels really daunting. And she said, and I said, do you think Trump will ever win? And she said, absolutely not, because Aquarius, the age we're going into, is democratic. It's humanitarian.
Oh. You're totally correct. Since the American and French revolutions. Oh,
yeah. Wow. Oh, she says she's watching on her phone. So that's okay. Okay, that's right. Okay. No worries. But as long as I got most of it right, which means, but we've been talking about the new earth since the 70s, 60s, 70s. The age of Aquarius is coming. Well, it's it's right now. Finally. This is what we've been going for. But as we move closer to a new age, a new earth, because it's almost like this is the time when we get to say if we up level or not. as because that's that tipping point with so many people on the planet. If they
Mhm.
can move into that, then peace and respect for another person and all that stuff will align automatically and be in our DNA. Then it'll come
Mhm.
back instead of always fighting. So it's us to make new, but just like when I do soul realignment, I can go into your Akashic record and realign everything. But unless you hold that energy pattern, it's going to slip right back into the old negative patterns.
Mhm. Mhm.
So we need to acknowledge the new earth, the new way of doing things, a new way to add numbers. With my numerology, I'm adding that for a specific reason. And you'll have this impulse to move forward as a leader, because most
Mhm.
of you are doing that. But if you just sit there and say I can't do it, or have I'm shy or whatever, then you won't do it. But it's available to us all.
Yes.
And so that is what I'm taking advantage of. And I am not, I'm just going to say something that might get me in trouble, but I'm with friends here. Democrats really do kind of split at the first sign of trouble. Everything is woe is me. Oh my God, 90 minutes out of this man's entire
I
life.
was so upset that
90
they were
minutes. And
talking about having him removed. Like,
I mean it.
WTF? No.
Yeah, I know. Well, how come that erases? Now, I know it's human nature, and it's especially for some numbers with women, is like I could have a really cool husband or boyfriend that
Mhm.
does really cool things for me 28 days out of the month. But the minute he doesn't do the trash that I had talked about, you know what I'm saying, then all
Mhm.
of that good stuff just gets erased. That's so Republican. So, I mean, it's so Democrat. I mean, right now, we are new Democrats. I'm not going to allow myself to do that. And yeah, it was painful to watch, but dang, I cannot believe. Also, we were talking about, and Lalit was, and there's a link on my community page for Alan Licht. He's a professor of
Lichtman.
history, Lichtman,
Mhm.
sorry,
Yeah.
Lichtman, of history and political history. He's a genius. So what he
He's the one
does,
that selected the last 10
more than
president
that,
popular votes. Popular
40
vote.
years of,
Yeah, but that's like 10. And except with Hillary, she
yeah,
did
you're
win the
right.
popular vote, but she lost the electoral
Well,
college.
what he came across of, and you'll see it on my community page, is the 13 keys. So if there's 13 certain situations, like for instance, being an incumbent president puts you into the blue, which is Democratic, right? Because
Mhm.
that's a key that Trump doesn't have. And
Mhm.
so, and it goes on this history. And as long as it's that way, then it's leaning Biden. Now, something can happen, of course, but you should listen to him, everyone. If you have doubts,
It's so good.
it's
Definitely so
amazing.
good.
He
Yeah.
he did predict Trump winning when he did, even though none of us could figure that out for sure. Um,
So,
so wait a
well,
minute. I've got a
okay.
hi Kim. Wanted to thank
Yes,
you for talking to us after the debate. It really helped. You know what? That's the
it
first time
did.
I did any of that because I was in my bathroom going to take off my makeup, and I thought, let me just freshen my lipstick and go on and chat about this because
It was
I,
perfect.
I
I watched
appreciate.
it too. Yeah, it was great.
And Charlie says the pearl clutchers. That's a wonderful thing for the old Democrat is our pearl clutchers. Yeah, up until now.
And Mary, thank you. Yeah.
Mary, no, the people asking him to step down need to cease right now. It
Exactly.
is take
Yeah.
a good look. Yeah, and what we must stay united and not look fractured. And
I mean, if they can unite around Trump after all the things
I
he's done,
know.
They circle the wagons around him, but then Biden has one bad debate after 50 plus years of, good public service, and they're ready to pull the rug out from under him.
Right.
So that's where I'm saying that, or I'm seeing that us as light workers, we can really make a difference now. Right. And this is what Deborah's talking about. I started getting messages from my guides saying, okay, we have been the ones who feel, who intuit, who know things. And we've kind of been at the sidelines because we haven't been completely accepted by a lot of people. I mean, some of us don't care anymore and we just do what we do. But a lot of times we've kind of been sidelined. And now I'm saying it's time to take a stand. It's time to take a stand and bring our energy onto the earth, send those, like we talked about before, the golden threads of light, and send out the good intentions, send out the good energy, and surround those that are in alignment with us. That's really the way we talked about, Deborah talked about the tipping point, how we're going to do it. But the other thing is we have to educate ourselves. How many times do you hear somebody say, oh, they're both the same? And we can't think of things off the top of our head to say to somebody who's just completely ridiculous. If they think that Biden and Trump are the same, there's no way. There's no way. And so I spent some time today, number one, looking at the YouTube people who have a good perspective about what happened. Or even my boyfriend, David, he goes, these guys are crazy because they're talking about trying to take him out. He goes, I view this like a game. You have one bad game, you go back and you go again and you just play again.
Republicans never did that never said anything when the Hollywood tapes came out and all that stuff. They just went along, just got quiet, went along. I can't believe it though. Holly's saying, I feel we're really being tested. That's true.
We need the information. So what I did, you guys, I put links. So please go and subscribe to my channel. I need more subscriptions. I need your help. Yay. And there's a bunch of links to shows. Also to Alan Lichtman, because he had 2 videos saying, do not take Biden out, because if we do that, we're going to lose. There's no way. And then also Lawrence O'Donnell, he had a really good perspective on it. Randy Rhodes is somebody I listen to on a regular basis, and she has daily programs. And there was even an Australian woman, something down under. She had a really good perspective too. But I also went and got things that Biden has done, accomplishments. And so Joe Biden's greatest accomplishments as president, I printed this out. I've highlighted it. He has done so much good for our country that we should be able to rattle off a few things.
Right,
in
exactly.
his defense, right?
Right.
And then, so we need to do that. We need to stand up. We need to stand our ground. We need to circle around our president who is making the world a better place. And then also, we talked about this in the last one. I just caught this after a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah, by his words, you're right. So Levita, he did. When they looked at the transcript for both, Biden was the one who was the most truthful and accurate. He just didn't present it in the most powerful way. And pretty much, well, how many lies did they say Trump said? 50?
Oh, really? I didn't hear that.
How do you defend yourself, or how do you even have a debate with somebody when they have a fire hose of lies that they're shooting out at you? I mean, if we're looking at the personality type of Biden, he's the transformer, and that's the 8th chakra personality type. They're the ones who see the big picture. They know how to make things happen. They know how to transform. We had President Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was a transformer. We had Roosevelt. Delano Roosevelt was a transformer. Our John F. Kennedy was a transformer. Even Robert F. Kennedy Sr., he was a transformer. And now our Joe Biden is a transformer. All these men have been 8th chakra personality types. And even our Kamala Harris is a transformer, 8th chakra personality type.
Wow.
and they're all here to make the world a better place.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you get a few transformers that want to do bad, but for the most part, they're going to work to better and
Mm-hmm.
make something better than it was before. But with his operating mode, he did not know how to respond. And I'm the same way. If somebody comes after me with all this stuff and I'm like, I'm not prepared, I'm like, how do you respond to that? You can't.
Right. You know, I think I want to
format.
There's something I just saw that. So Holly says, I feel we are being tested, and I'll tell you why that is.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we're feeling like that, but it's human nature. It's our species to always lean into the bully. And if you're on the right side of a bully, you're going to survive the winter, right? So it's that kind of thing. And so it's just human nature. So when I say the Democrats, you know, if we just keep kumbayaing it, and I've even said on this line, that's why I kind of shied away from politics, because I said at one time, I didn't get any pushback from it, but it's not spiritual when I say, if someone needs a ride to the polls, if you're voting Democrat, I'll drive you. Okay. So I am not going to be the old spiritual kumbaya. Of course, my dear, who you voting for? Show me proof. But I'm getting mean that way. And I'm just going to be loud and proud about it. But understand that it's human nature to move into the goofiest, loudest mouth in the room. But
but it's time. It's time to stand up to bullies. I have to tell you, the worst day in my life was a result of a bully coming and terrorizing me and my mother. I lost my mother that night because of that.
Really?
She took her life 3 hours after that incident.
After you were bullied.
And she was hanging on by a thread, and this girl knew that, but that didn't stop her. So I was not the type I'm not a physical fighter, and I was too scared to go out and fight her fist to fist. And I've always felt that because of that, I had a responsibility in her leaving. Mm-hmm. Now we have another fight with a bully. I don't want to stand back this time.
Right.
I want to stand in my power. I want to help others to stand in their power, because we cannot lose this fight.
Right.
If this guy gets into the presidency again, we are not going to have a good world. So we have to learn how to work together. And remember, we talked about these alliances in the last video. I don't know, a lot of you guys, I think, were there, but Winston Churchill came to me and he said, war doesn't work. And it's like, fighting doesn't work. You have to build alliances. So if we have an alliance of light workers that are spreading love and this good energy, and really embracing those of us that are doing the good work, then we can come together to really shift the energy of this election. It's going to shift the energy of our country and of the planet eventually. But that's what I see as these golden threads of light, and being able to send that positive energy out, but be able to stand our ground too.
You know, I got to tell you, there was I live in Southern California, but it's conservative because it's Camp Pendleton around here. I mean, it's still blue, but we change our life at the level of action. And I always say that when I was turning the corner I was going in a parking lot to go to Denny's to meet a friend. And I turned the corner, this very conservative MAGA guy that was running for office was yelling, was waving with his little sign, vote for me. And I stopped mid-turn, made in the middle of the little turn. So everyone has to wait for me. Because it's me. It's all about me. And I rolled down my window and I said, "You are a loser." you are a loser. And he kept smiling. He heard me loud and clear. He kept smiling. That you are a politician, but that's for sure. But that's when I started. That's what I've become. And I wanted to, yes, Mary, you said 34 times, and they are still true fans. I know it's ridiculous, but I did see something here. It was interesting. I want to address, and this is why we're here. Oh, here you are, Holly. Holly, my heart has been sinking between the Supreme Court decisions and the debate. We are surely being tested this last week. It's encouraging the quiet people to use their voice and thoughts.
Definitely.
I think I'm quiet because, like I live in a senior mobile home park, and I had a Ukraine flag, flying little flag in front of my house. And the minute I saw that my park is up for sale, I took my flag down for fear of, I don't know, retribution. Some people are really strong, and if life is easier if the management likes you, just saying. So, and that's a lot like what we're doing here, but you know what? Let's try it. We have absolutely nothing to lose being brave. Now, I'm not going to go pull the flag back out again, but I am going to roll down my window and shout loser. And I'm going to write to my Congress people. This is just through email. It's just a little form you tap out, and at least it's going out there with that golden threads of light that touch someone. And again, my condolences for that experience with the bully. We've all experienced bullies, but when you marry it to something like that, it does change your life. And there is someone, it's brought up today, but there is someone listening to this, or someone in your life who is listening to this that has been still struggling with being bullied, or maybe move into bullying themselves just out of frustration. Just we want to pray for them to find the light inside of that darkness. And we are here for you, for sure.
Well, and I think a big part of it too, Deborah, is that I remember the circle of faceless people that were surrounding her. She had no reason to come after me that day, except maybe it was my turn that day. And all these people that surrounded her that didn't know me had nothing to be mad at me about, but they were supporting her. So how do we reach those faceless people, or those people in the crowd that are supporting the bully? Because if they're not there, the bully falls down.
Exactly. Just like Trump.
See? So we've got to pull away at the people that are surrounding the bully. If we can get to them and get them to leave, then the bully is going to dissipate.
There is another little something that I think about when I'm in despair, Holly, and I see that everybody's kind of leaning our way, because it is sad, But I believe in an afterlife, and I believe in a life review, and I believe there's going to be many tears in heaven.
Definitely,
because they know. I've interviewed plenty of death experiencers, and it always is true. You are shown your motivation was, and you showed what the repercussions were for the other person in detail, with pain and disappointment and everything. And so that is going to be quite a lesson. The trick to life is to see the lesson sooner than later, right?
True.
And so the life review will be lesson. So if she's, here we are. Just a minute. We've got Dawn, my deepest sympathies. And she's your deepest, truest love from your mother to you, connected to you in your heart.
Thank you, Dawn.
Yeah.
No, I learned so much about life from my mother's suicide.
Yeah.
So, and it was painful. Of course, I'm sure any of you would know I was 13 when it happened. It was the most painful thing in my life, but I'm doing the work I'm doing now because of that.
Yep. That's a great way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So here's an interesting, Denise. Hi, Denise. Trump has brought those feelings in many of us peace-loving people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've always had it a little bit, but I've pushed it down. I'm sorry. I lived in an apartment building in Seattle, and it was getting it. So to get to my apartment, which is above the salon, I'd have to go up this center stairs and then turn to the left. Well, the right is the alley. From behind the buildings was an alley, and then they come down the same set of stairs I'm down. And I just thought about this last night. I don't know why it stuck with me, but now maybe this is it. Where this guy came down, he was high, and so if you've ever been touched by someone who has chemical imbalance, right, like that, they are strong. I mean, it's like his hands, when he got to me, it was like mallets. It was like closing mallets. And I mean, the struggle didn't last long. It was no big deal because I was PMS. And so everything like resolved quickly.
Wow.
But I was thinking, I do have it in me to fight back. And we are discerning people. I mean, I risk nothing fighting back. I risk something if I have my Ukraine flag out. You risked something by going to the bully helpers, you would risk negotiating with them. I don't think they were old enough to actually negotiate, but so that's why you had to just suck it up. But this is something with the bully in the room, the big fat elephant bully in the room, that I need to find my voice.
Yeah.
With people, and it's nerve-wracking when it's like people that are next door, right?
Well, and you don't want to put your life in danger, so you do have to discern, like you said, who you're going to say certain things to. But if you have, your knowledge,
yes,
that makes, I think, a huge difference.
Yeah, it would.
And I want to get more bullet points, that this will be more bullet points, so that it'll be easier to just rattle this stuff off.
Also, if you turn it into humor, like across the street, my friend Dale, he's like 96 this year or something like that. Wow. And I said, what are you watching that Fox for? Because I saw it through the door, with the window. He was outside. And he says, oh, I'm keeping up to date. And I said, they want to stop Social Security, And he goes, well, I think maybe, he's a Trumper, I think maybe it could lower. I said, Dale, you are 1,000 years old. You've already taken your share.
Yeah.
And it stopped him. And he says, well, you're right. I said, okay, so keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got someone linked from your site.
Oh, good.
Sage. Blessings to all. Unconditional love, sending divine love, spending agape love. Awesome.
Yay.
Sending love and
good. That's what we're talking about.
Thank you so much. That's right. I know it's a dance, right, Serge? That where we send love, but we stand up for ourselves. And I think people who are spiritually based, it's a fine line, because we reprimand each other and cause each other ourselves. We could have handled that better. It could have been a peaceful. I didn't have to raise my voice. I didn't have to say this or that, but I'm kind of tired. And I am convinced that when we push our emotions down, yes, I'm going to go walk it off. I'm going to go work in the garden and make sure I have that balanced. But I'm not going to reprimand myself for speaking out anymore. And we've put the spiritual spiritual community really held each other's feet to the fire on behavior. And I've never been one to agree with that.
And Holly said something up here.
Yes, go ahead. What is it?
I believe we are here in these chats to heal and come together for energy. We are one. Yeah, definitely Holly.
Yes. 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 Yeah.
And Charlie agrees. Yeah. No, I think it's good. It's good. Hi, Marby.
We need to move to
Yeah.
the country. I don't have neighbors. It's awesome. I know what you mean. It's because you're this.
We'll go visit you, Holly.
Yes, but we won't stay long because we know you. We know you.
I'm
now.
a city girl.
Oh my gosh. Hi, Marby. It's good to see you, sweetheart. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
And then we've got Mary. I knew he was a horrible person with the Central Park 5. That's right. In 89, I think. And he paid $85,000 for the ad campaign. I didn't know that.
Wow. That tells you where his mindset is.
So it's a fear you had to overcome a residue. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. To be brave and not apologize for myself. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to be a trumplet where I just...
Well, we can't.
No. See, and this is why Linda brought in these details, because when I talked, when I don't talk, but when I see people, like even comedians talking to Trump supporters, MAGA people, the MAGA people talk in declarations, one sentence. Trump didn't take any money from anybody. There's like this one blanket declaration, and that's it. Now, to fight that, Democrats or people who want enjoy freedom and democracy can't say that declaration. They have to go underneath of it and say the actual points that happened with that. We can't.
Well, he added almost $9 trillion to the deficit because of lowering tax rates for the wealthy and the corporations.
Right. And they will be expiring next year?
True.
In the end of this year. So we'll be much richer country after they expire, when Biden takes over.
Right. Let's see. A group working in unity has more power than individuals.
That's right.
And I think that, and Lalit, you'd have to agree with this too, that there has been an energy shift, and I feel it. Deborah, you feel it? There's definitely an energy shift that has happened. And I feel like we're sailing on the waves of the energy more. It just feels like things are flowing better. So it's our time. It really is our time.
Serge says that's why we're not the same for the better after. It's a better version of you. True. Blessings.
Yeah. Thank you, Serge. Thank you. Yeah.
Maybe it's Sergey.
Might be Sergey.
Sergey. It's so, Sergey, I think.
Show us your pronunciation, Serge. Or Sergey.
Sergey. So many of the names on YouTube are so cute, that you don't know. Like Cupcake waving at a green car. That's the name of it. We still need to show our dissent for Trump's crimes and actions with respect to their feelings. Yes, they will need. They have been lied to. When Trump gained office, I went to. Right after that, we had just around here. We had the bag ban, the single-use plastic bag ban from the grocery store, and I went like, oh, I forgot my bag. I went back to my car, and this one gal says, oh, isn't this awful? We have to bring in our own bags. And I says, no, that's fine. She says, I bet you didn't vote for Trump. And I said, no, I did not vote for Trump. She goes, something about, don't you like him? And I said, not yet. Not yet. He hasn't done anything for me to like him yet. And then she goes, she was just resentful of any kind of change. And I said, have you ever spent one day out of this country? Have you ever done any traveling outside of America? She goes, no. And I said, it shows.
Yep.
It shows.
Yep. Because if you lived in other states and other countries, you would have a real appreciation for what we have here.
Mm-hmm.
And you would have a different perspective on life. That's growing up in the military is nice.
Is that the
Ellie
lady?
Down Under. Yes, Ellie Down Under. Thank you, Gloria.
Awesome.
I watched her show for the first time today, and oh my gosh, she was right on. And she's on the other side of the planet.
Yeah.
But the other one I like is this young guy, Adam Mockler. He's so young, and he can go.
Is he that little boy?
Yes. And the way he talks to these MAGA people, he gets them on his side, and then he kind of twists everything around so they go like, "Oh, well, that doesn't make sense, does it?" He's so good.
He is good.
Okay, so Dawn. Oh, where'd she go? Where did she go? Okay. Dawn, you said something here. You take a little break?
Just about. Yeah, I took a nap. Sorry.
Dawn said something here. Yeah. When I have happened upon a group bullying someone in the past, I have checked in with my guides and I have said loudly, "Shame on you, a group of you against one. How would your grandparents feel?"
Oh, that's a good response.
Do you say this out loud? Are you saying that you say this out loud, Dawn? Because yeah.
So that offended and broken up.
Oh, it's often broken up a crowd. Good.
There is a frenzy. There is a frenzy.
Yeah, that's great.
That happens. Lalit. Mark Twain said that travel is the best way to overcome bias and discrimination. That is so true.
Definitely.
That is so true. Yeah, she said yes. She says it out loud.
Well, I know Lalit's lived in different countries. Deborah, have you lived in different countries?
I haven't lived. I've traveled.
Okay. Well, that helps too.
Mm-hmm.
We lived in Japan and Hawaii when Hawaii first came a state. So it was like a different country then.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
In 1960.
How many people have lived or traveled outside the country that's here? I'd love to know where.
Mm-hmm.
And if there was something that flabbergasted you, I'll tell you what flabbergasted me is that I went to the store, a grocery store, speaking of bags, and just filled my little box, my little cart thing, and just fill. And then people were looking at me. I thought, I wonder what's going on. And so I paid for it and waited for the bag, and there was no bag. So I did have a backpack that I shoved a lot of stuff in, but it was just mind-blowing. And I think a lot of people, I don't know, I think a lot of people laugh at you when they know that the trouble is coming. They enjoy the tourist. Okay, here we go. Nancy says, India and Ireland. What?
Wow.
Whoa. Both would be spiritual.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Dawn, angels and masters are protecting you in your bravery and righteousness. I love that. Thank you so much, Lily. I think she's pretty awesome.
Okay.
Okay, so here we are.
Mary, for that.
What was that?
You got her up here. She's
Telltale
Tarot. That's hard to say.
Is also very good. Linda G commented about him a couple of weeks ago, and I've been watching him every day. Love him. That's an interesting. I haven't heard of him.
Tongue twister, Telltale.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
I've lived in many states and traveled half of Canada. Well, that Canada is different too. Southwest United States and Kentucky. Now, Kentucky is considered a different country. I would. Back in
Were you in the military? Were you a military brat too, Denise? Just out of curiosity. My dad was in the Air Force.
Yeah, mine too. We went to Portugal and all that stuff.
Oh, so cool.
So here we go with London, Kent, and Leeds, Great Britain. Oh, so you've been well traveled.
Yeah.
And Charlie says, traveled the islands, lived around US. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
And different states in the US are different. It's
yeah.
a different mentality. That's why I'm in California after living in so many different states. It's like, okay, I'm going to be where it's the most progressive possible.
Right.
No truck driver and a very poor choice of husbands. Oh, you're a truck driver. Wow.
Poor choice of husband. Denise, you make me laugh. You see that eagle right there, that bird on her thing? That's she painted that. That's an eagle.
Oh my gosh. That's an
eagle? Those little pictures. There's not big enough to have the whole thing, but
now I see. It is an eagle.
She was in my classes. She's a member, and she showed me the whole painting. It's just beautiful.
Wow, that is really so great. Beautiful.
And here's McGrill.
Look at you.
Canada, Aruba, Scotland, Jamaica, Bahamas, England, Holland, Hawaii, and so many more in vacations.
Nice.
I got to tell you, McGrill is studying the tarot. And
is she?
Yes. And so I don't start a student out thinking they're just going to have, a parlor game with it. Right. I'm going to get them right to professional, and then I'll have her on my show and we will start a beeswax.
Nice.
Oh, here we go. Bermuda. Let's see. Bermuda and Bahamas. Nice. So she said, still missing 16 states. Oh my God.
I'm afraid to travel now to the red states.
Yeah.
And they don't want you in a car that has California plates, which is like, really?
Oh, I never thought of that. It's like my flag for the Ukraine, right? So it's crazy. But all in all, the reason we wanted to come on is to give everyone a chance to give a voice to you, because we need to have our words outside of ourselves at this point, at these points where it's so tough. So I hope this helps. But we have the list that you have on your channel. I haven't pasted it in the show notes of this channel, but I will right after I'm through.
So if you would go to,
she's going to put it in. She'll put it in the note, the chat.
So just, at Linda Bertaut in the YouTube. And then I have my specials there. Then I have, so you have to scroll down a little bit. So beyond what the description of today is, and then our specials, because I have Deborah's on there too. And then you'll see an entire list of things you can just cut and paste, and there's links. And I think that's a good idea. So if any of you have ideas as well, maybe, I guess you could post them here, but is there a better way that we could get these things so that we have access to them after the show?
They're always they stay in the show notes.
No, but if other people want to recommend something for us.
Oh, yes. I have a community page. Just go ahead and put, and you do too on your channel.
Okay.
A community page is how you can correspond, or you can we have our email address all over the place, so you can just email us directly. There's something I want to, this is darling, Holly. We can all travel in our dreams and minds. Don't feel like you actually have to physically go. Use your mind if you don't have the money. Remote view. And that is so true, because many people, one of their superpowers is astral travel.
Wow.
And remote viewing. So bravo on that. And we've got Dawn drove to lots of US, flew to Vancouver. Yeah.
We always drove from one state to the other when we were moving with our little U-Haul on the back of the car.
Oh my gosh.
No air conditioning.
I know, those were the days.
Get up early at the crack of crazy. We'd see the sun coming up as we're driving. that still, if I leave and it's dawn coming up, it just reminds me of those nice days of traveling.
Wow.
And then stopping at a motel, one of those strip motels that had the swimming pool.
Do you remember, or does anybody remember, maybe they still have them, Stuckies? It's these Stuckies is like one of these where you can get gas and everything, but it has tchotchkes. We stop at every Stuckies. That's a good memory.
And then the Indian trading posts, we always stop at the Indian trading posts and get something.
Good memories.
So we're going way back. But I'm so thankful that everybody is here. And yeah, Howard Johnson's too.
Oh, Mary. That's true.
Going back into the day.
Here's the day. But we are going to stick together. We're going to keep moving forward. Now, Andre. Oh.
Should we do a reading?
Yeah, I want to do one I already started.
Okay.
Andre of Proactive Astrology. Everyone knows Andre. He actually did a video saying that he was absolutely wrong with his reading. And
really?
Because he had it
for the debate or what?
For the debate. And so I was using his, I said, and Andre said, blah, 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 into my excitement. And then Linda G was saying she saw good things. And I saw good things too, because of the numbers and everything. But I think the energy was a 5, which can be fractious.
Right.
It was a 5, wasn't it? The debate
but Biden was completely balanced in his chakras, remember? And Trump was completely blocked. And you would think
it's hard to debate a liar, a loudmouth liar.
No,
it's just the way you can't do it. But we are going to be here to help people move past and look past everything else. And it's not going to be in a kumbaya way where you just light white candles and pray, which you should be doing anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to be moving ourselves into action points, choice points that you can do. Because when we do something at, you do something at the level of action, always makes you feel better.
Feel better. And Mary brought this up a couple of times. Oh, so do Denise,
yes,
and then go to Mary's, and we'll talk about
that. Andre, it was so professional in his apology. He sure was, and he wasn't trying to skirt it, saying, "Well, this happened, and that's why I thought this."
Get it right. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Stuckies, Don knows Stuckies. So what?
Mary, he was gish galloped.
What's that? Oh, I've never heard that before.
So that's when, it's also like a fire hose of lies. And
really?
Randy Rhodes was saying it was like a pressure cooker full of lies, and it just like exploded everywhere. You could see it that way.
And Holly, here we go. That's right. Whoops, that's the wrong one.
It's a real thing. Okay.
Yes, it's time to move forward. Be the squeaky wheel. Look it up. It's a real thing. I've never heard that.
I just heard it.
I just learned it. I learned something new today. I'm gonna go back to bed.
Here's the definition. During a gish gallop, a debater confronts an opponent with a rapid series of specific arguments, half-truths, misrepresentations, and outright lies in a short space of time, which makes it impossible for the opponent to refute all of them within the format of a formal debate. And this was the other thing.
That's a real thing.
It
is
just like she said. We've been talking about this. And so they did not have the moderators doing any fact-checking. And they just let Trump say, do the...
Well, we were conditioned to that. I mean, they didn't say that they're not going to... And in their defense, I don't like this, but in their defense for that part, it would have just been a he said, she said, he said, it would just be back and forth terrible. But News Nation, which leans right, had Trump on the phone, where he had just his mug there and he was talking. And when he said the lie of election stealing, they had a huge banner at the bottom that said, News Nation believes that the 2020 election was won fair. It was
Free and fair election.
Yeah, free and fair.
Yeah.
So that's what CNN could have done, is that whenever he said something wrong, and Biden, if they think it's half truth, you can put half truth or liar, pants on fire, or something like that.
Yeah, it had the five fire, pants on fire things.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he wasn't even answering the questions.
No.
And they were not holding him to account. It's like, no wonder. How could somebody who is being honest and there for the right reason even respond to somebody who's not playing the same game? You can't.
Well, I do see here the one guy, and that's Jake Tapper. He's not really into him.
And he's calling him President Trump. Yeah, he's not president.
I know that, but we still say President Carter and President. I don't like giving him that honor, but he was our president. He was president, even though I didn't like him. So I don't. Just think about it, Mary. How would it feel? How would it be presented if it was Mr. Trump? I don't think that would have been respectful for the event.
I think it would have been accurate.
Well, we don't say Mr. Obama.
Well, and remember what President Carter said? Because they're going to find that he was an illegitimate president, that Trump was an illegitimate president.
Is that what he said? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did. And I think that's still going to happen at some point down the road.
Hi, Leah.
Yeah.
Hi, Leah. Thanks for coming.
And Holly, repeat a lie enough and they will believe it. That was George W. Bush. He was the one that really started that. Him and his Karl Rove was his spin doctor. And that guy was a great liar, making things that were not true sound.
Who was that?
Karl Rove.
Oh, yeah. He's eating crow now. Oh,
he is. He started all of this. Karl Rove
started with the Tea Party. It started with the Tea Party and that funny Speaker of the House was
it started before, because when Bush Jr. was in office, he was keeping people that didn't agree with him out of his meetings. Remember, he was booting people out. So he wasn't allowing all Americans to come in and state anything that was contrary to what he wanted to hear. And that was the beginning of that. Plus, then we had Karl Rove doing the spinning of things that were terrible and making it sound okay. And they really brought that whole lying thing into fruition, which then led to the Tea Party, because, we had our first Black president and candidate.
Okay, wait a minute. Trump is going to be proved. He stole the presidency from my girl, Hillary Clinton. Right. I know.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bush's brain. He's a gas bag. Yeah.
Yes. Tea Party and Federalists.
Yeah.
Yep. You're right.
We have learned a lot, but I think what we've learned the most is that we can no longer stay in the background and not speak up.
Yeah.
We can take action energetically, and we can take action in our words. We can take action in our actions, in really supporting the people that we believe in that are doing the right things, and letting them know. Oh, thank you, Marby. You like my earrings.
So, I don't want to put any homework on anyone, but I think what I'm going to do is start telling people, I know it sounds weird, what I have done to progress, at the level of action. I'm a stickler for that. Talk is cheap, right? And so when I do something like write my congressman or something like that, I'm just going to keep a little diary of that and try to get something every day that I can do. Now, I don't have the time to actually volunteer and write postcards. Somebody did say postcards. That's a wonderful way to do that. But I will do something and see if I can't keep up with that.
Well, my congressman, Mark DeSaulnier, he actually has local meetings, and
Yeah,
he posts them
yeah.
when he's in town. I love him. He's really supportive of our community. And he's even had one-on-one meetings where we meet at the library. We go in and we spend 5 minutes with them, talk about what we like, what we want. And it's pretty incredible.
I haven't been to a town meeting. I haven't been, yeah, but
I
it's a
think it's
big state.
helpful. It's helpful to know who your local people are, and it makes a difference. It really
Hmm.
does.
Adam Kinzinger, uh,
Kinzinger.
staying in
Now,
politics in our future. Let me see.
didn't he quit? But isn't he Republican?
Yeah, he's Republican, is a never Trumper. He and
Yeah,
Liz Cheney
they both
stood.
got out because they
Well,
just didn't
no, they
want
didn't get out on their own. They were pushed out. Liz Cheney was voted out, and anybody who goes a Republican that goes against Trump, a lot of them are retiring because they know they're not going to win.
Oh, I thought he was one that was retiring.
No, he's a young boy. He's a young man. I'm going to see here, Adam. Will he stay in politics? The answer, and remember, this is immediate. It's like the energy signature right now, and he's pretty fed up with what's going on. The answer is no. I believe what he wants to do, and he will get it, he is going to move into a really profitable corporation, be on the board of something, and, make his money. Because being in government, I mean, the benefits are great, but the money isn't there, right? And so you take a break and go into a posh job and make your millions, because we've got just a certain amount of time of wealth building years. So what did you get on this one? Maybe that's what I got right now. But
Well, he did not seek re-election to Congress in 2022, so he did quit, basically. After he left office, he joined CNN as a senior political commenter.
that's 50,000 a year. Well, senior, maybe that makes more, but yeah, he's
Okay.
got a lot of.
What am I?
Oh yes, Denise. He was on the January 6th committee. Right.
Oh, of course, yeah. And so he knew. I'm sure he saw the
The
writing on the
thing
wall.
is that it doesn't quit. What it is an educated guess on to go. Is he reelectable? And he doesn't have. His base is Republican, but he's not the new Republican. So we were talking about Adam.
And Dawn, I'm talking about George W. Bush, the son. So first, Donald Trump said what first? Let's see.
I don't know where you're.
I was looking at Dawn. She was talking about George H. I know it's confusing because they're Daddy Bush and then W. Bush. So the son.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that had that guy Karl Rove, and he would say, if you say a lie often enough, then people think it's true.
Yeah, it's true,
All
but
right.
that was true before he said it.
But he said it. He was the one who had the nerve to say it out loud.
Yeah, and that's
so
true.
They would say these lies over and over again.
That's what the Republicans did about Hillary or something like that. And he says, we formed a agreement that we were going to basically say a bunch of lies about her. And look at her now. She's lower in the poll.
They spent millions of dollars when Clinton was president, Bill Clinton. They spent millions and millions of dollars, wasted it because they were trying to find something that they were doing illegal, just like what they're doing with Biden, wasting all that money. What am I asking about for my cards?
Well, I saw that it was I saw that it was because Kinzinger was not going to stay in politics in the near future. And that was the question. Will he stay in politics even though he's not in that?
And
I already read about it. What?
Cheney was in charge. Yeah, he was the puppeteer. He was the puppet master. And then, but I'm going to say that this is the focus. Focus on our feelings. So I have my gemstone cards. This is part of my readings that I do, the gemstone card readings. And carnelian is part of the second chakra, which is feminine energy. And we all need to embrace our own feminine energy, which is our connection to feelings, creativity, connecting and relating to others. And this is where we find our passion for life. So with the first chakra, we use the 5 physical senses for self-preservation. But with the second chakra, we experience the pleasure of the senses. And then carnelian is really all about creativity and passion. So when you're tapping into your feelings of the second chakra, it ignites your creative self and it helps you to experience that passion for life. We enhance confidence and fuel your passionate self. Use us to gather momentum to work on a complete creative projects. With us, you experience life in full color and enjoy the pleasures in life.
Here I am talking. I took another nap. So what was that card? That was a card for all of us? A card for the day?
Yeah.
Awesome.
To tap into your feelings and your creativity and connecting with others.
That's right. Pray for the world. I'll need to get through this together. We're all walking each other home.
Yes.
Sure. If ever you get nervous, just go ahead and mention something in on my community page so we can support you. Ask the community page because everybody gets to see it. And if you say, "Oh, I'm feeling nervous, I'm feeling scared," let us help you through that. So I'd really like to do that. And we are at the end of our time.
I know.
Yes, it always flies by. And we are going to land the plane, but dance off of it with my outro.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Love ya.